Welcome to LilyTube. Please take a moment to give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Today we're talking about a concept that will change the way you look at life in a profound and meaningful way, or if you're anything like me anyway. Contraries are two good things that require a certain amount of tension between them in order to remain good, because taken to the extreme, they can become really bad. We'll dive in after a quick word from our sponsor.
This video is sponsored by Canyon Foot and Ankle. From simple nail care to advanced trauma and reconstructive care, their podiatrists have the training and skills needed to resolve even the most complex cases. Treat your feet to the exceptional care they deserve.
Recently, we came across the work of BYU professor Jared Halverson, and one of the things he talks about a lot is based on a quote by Joseph Smith, the prophet, toward the end of his life, where he says, "By proving contraries, truth is made manifest." Now, contrary isn't a term that we use as much in our time. We use terms like paradox or polarities, but essentially we're talking about the same thing. Now, Jared's teaching of proving contraries, both the deep dive on faith matters that he did, as well as a shorter 3-minute clip that we're responding to, will be in the show notes.
When it comes to proving contraries or polarities, it's very important to note that while it's similar to the law of opposition, which a lot of us understand as good versus evil, or light versus darkness, it's actually tension between two good things. So as we move through this video, keep in mind that it is opposition, but it's not opposition in a way that there's a good and a bad. And Jared Halverson has this to say about that.
It's good A coupled with good B. So both sides are positive, and that's important to understand.
So what we're really talking about with contraries, or polarities if you prefer, is two truths that may both be good, but we need a dose of both of them. They need to be in tension with each other to create the best good.
So in other words, a paradox, seemingly opposing truths that we wonder, how can they coexist? And yet they do. And it's important that they do. For instance, in relationships, we want this tension to be there for ourselves and for the relationship. And we're going to go into detail in just a moment, but first we want to share with you a little clip from the way Jared Halverson describes virtue versus vice.
You see, any virtue, when taken to an extreme, becomes a vice. And so what you need to help it from doing that is a complementary virtue, a contrary, that keeps this one in check, and vice versa.
Jared Halverson's favorite example of two contraries that need each other are justice and mercy. Justice is like, and I'm borrowing this example from him, Inspector Javert from Les Miserables. Harsh, judgmental, unbending. And that has to be tempered with mercy, which taken to an extreme could be permissive, enabling, lackadaisical, just sort of anything goes. And we need justice, but we need it to be tempered by mercy. Mercy, but we need it to be strengthened by justice. And so those two are contraries, and yet they need each other because taken to the extreme, neither is good.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite scriptures is when Jesus tells a woman, "Neither do I condemn thee," which is mercy, "but go and sin no more," which is justice. It's both kind and instructive.
Once you have an eye to see it, once it's been introduced to you, these contraries start popping up all over Scripture. In a funny way, it reminds me of, those pictures that are made of a lot of garbled images, but if you look at it just right, you can see an elephant in there. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
It's something that just kind of sticks with you and you start noticing it elsewhere.
Right.
So here are some examples of polarities that really need to work in tension with each other.
Speaking the truth and being loving.
Community and individuality.
Unity and diversity.
Agency and inspiration.
Male and female.
The male and female has got me thinking as we were preparing for this video. And it's come to my attention recently, and of course we've noticed it before, but someone reached out specifically with a concern that videos that are made to empower men or to empower women are being used in singles groups to bash the opposite sex. And not only that, but it is also being commented on in a way that is very detrimental to everyone involved. And male and female are meant to have goodness in tension with one another. It's meant to be coupled. It's not meant to be separated, segregated, and criticized. There's not a good or bad there. Here's another clip we'd like to share with you from Jared.
That's why I call it the Goldilocks zone. I'm neither too hot at one extreme nor too cold at the other. I'm right in the middle where I need to be.
So we stay in the middle, not by eliminating, but by coupling two extremes, holding them both together.
You know, Jeff, this reminds me that in intentional courtship, we wrote that like attracts like, and extremes attract opposite extremes. And I believe that what we were essentially talking about was proving polarities, that temperance brings into balance what allows attraction to be more healthy. We advise our readers that if there's anything extreme in themselves, to work on that and to bring it back into balance so that they can attract a partner that isn't the opposite extreme.
For instance, it's good to be empathetic and focused on other people. It's also good to have a strong sense of self. Taken to extremes, you might have an empath who is very codependent and a narcissist who is very selfish. And those aren't good. And so we need to have some of both. And I think it's interesting, you know, we often talk about, we're in a day when people talk a lot about self-love, which is good, but in our nature we have the natural man and the child of God. So it's, you know, we have sort of a dual nature. I think, you know, you didn't see Jesus Christ going around in biblical times telling everyone to love themselves. He was telling them to love other people. So I think there's an interesting balance between the need to love and take care of yourself and the need to have a heart that reaches out to other people.
I love that. And I really resonate with how he says any virtue becomes a vice if it is not in tension with and balanced with the opposing virtue.
Right. And we often hear that Jesus Christ retreated into the wilderness and other places to sort of recharge his batteries, that he had a sense of self, that he knew he needed refreshment, and yet when people were trying to keep the kids away from him to say, you know, hey, he needs his time, he said, let the little ones come unto me. And his heart was with them.
And probably because he did what he needed to have that energy for them.
Right.
Well, as we wrap up, we hope that this is a concept that will start showing up in your life everywhere. And we hope that it positively impacts the way you see and interact with many seemingly paradoxical parts of life.
For our viewers, you guys ever heard of proving contraries before? If what we're sharing as single life and relationship coaches resonates with you, please feel free to visit loveandlateryears.com to schedule a free consult if you believe some private or group coaching might benefit you. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like for more elevating content. Until then,
it's always a great time for more love in your life. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us for another week on LilyTube. If you enjoy what you see, support us by liking, commenting, and sharing your favorite videos with others who could benefit.
As single life and relationship coaches, our mission is to help single adults intentionally heal from loss to create a happy life and healthy relationships. Keep coming back and we'll keep you encouraged. Each week, we provide new and refreshing perspectives on the challenges and opportunities of mid-single life.
If you'd like to immerse yourself deeper into your own personal development and relationship journey, visit our website at loveinlateryears.com for even more resources. Don't take on divorce recovery and other relationship loss and single life alone. We are here for you.